Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So today we're going to be working with some of my scraps, because the problem with scraps is that you just never know what to do with them. You don't want to throw them away because you have some sort of a connection to some of the scrap papers that you leave behind in a project. And I have here my giant bin of scraps. This is just one big box of scrap paper and things that I've worked on in the past, and I just want to use some of this stuff up because they're still usable, they're pretty. And I found this little calendar, December 2023, so I'm gonna use I don't care really what side I use. I can use this side. I'm just gonna layer some scraps on top of here and cut it up, and we can make all different kinds of things with our scrap paper. This is just called like a mini masterboard, is what we are doing in order so that we can reuse some of the scraps that we have in our stash. I even have like cardstock scraps, and this stuff is not cheap. Like I don't want to throw that away. But here are some scraps from previous projects that I've worked on. I've cut up several different papers in so many different ways. I mean, look at this. Why would I throw this away? Just because I used that section of it. So yeah, I mean, anyway. Here's another piece of similar paper. So in here I have mostly paper, but I also have fabric scraps, right? So I was thinking, like, what can I do with my fabric scraps? Look at that. I mean, come on, guys. Why would we throw these things away? So anyway, yeah, so I was thinking I would incorporate some of my fabric scraps with my paper scraps and make a couple of cute tags, maybe even decorate an envelope. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull out like a bunch of strips like this so that we can layer them on this calendar page and make something out of it. So we're just basically doing like a little upcycle project so that we don't throw away good stuff, right? So there's that. And yeah, I'll just grab a few more of these strips. It's funny how a lot of my pages they come out in strips, which is perfect actually. So yeah, I can even use that. That's fine. I'm just looking for some more strips because that's primarily what we're going to do. We're just going to take these strips and layer them onto a mini board, which is what we're calling this. It's a mini master board. More strips. And then we're going to make something cool with it. Alright, so I'm just going to move this box of scraps out of the way. And by the way, this doesn't even put a dent in all the scraps that I have. So let's just see what we've got here. I'm going to move some of these larger pieces and just work with these smaller ones. And if you have things like this, you can just tear them up, like make a scrap from the scrap, right? I can use that, and I can use this. So yeah, just tear them up. If you want to ink, you can. I'm not going to ink right now because I'm not really sure where any of this stuff is going to land yet, so we'll just see what happens. So here's our thick. It's thick. It's a pretty thick. It's not cardstock quality, but it's thicker than paper. So this will be great for when we go to cut it up. Once you layer things on top of cardstock or cardboard, you end up with a very thick project at that point. So it's good that it's not paperweight, but it's also not very you know, cardstocky either. So that'll be great. I'm gonna lay, oh, this is some really nice like cottony paper. Oh, I can't wait to use it. Anyway, I have a few strips of that. I got some book page, right? So here's how we fix this hole in the middle. Just tear it down the center. And now we have those. Another one. So I'm just going to layer these on, and then we'll go from there, right? So yeah. So I hope you guys are having a super crafty day. It's one of our stress-free Saturdays, so I just figured I would just play with paper and glue and tear stuff up and make something new from something old. Oh, that's cool. Toss that aside. Okay, so here's what we're working with. To begin, I'm gonna grab my, oh, where would it be? I'm gonna grab my silicone mat. And here they all are. I used the big one. And this way I don't get glue on my surface area right here. So yeah. Let's do that. And so some of our scraps are cardstock. Are cardstock or is cardstock? So anyway, so we'll be layering some of that as well, but I just want to use the paperweight on this first. Okay, I'm using Scotch Create. This is a permanent multi-purpose glue, and it's non-toxic, but it works really well for this application. Yeah, guys, I hope y'all are having a great day. I hope you guys are finding some time to work in your crafting spaces, right? Because it's needed. We need to work in our crafting spaces because it's fun, right? I mean, I love it. I love working in my crafting space, even though it's not as big as it used to be, but it's still mine. And I have, you know, the most fun in this room. This is definitely my happy place for sure. No question about it. So all we're doing is really just covering up what's underneath. And if your paper is too thick, like this one is fairly thick, I just snip it off. That wasn't even really paper. This is more of a, I don't know. This is also very cottony kind of paper. So, yeah, guys. So yeah, I'm just tearing up paper and playing with paper and glue. And again, I'm not inking anything right now because I'm just not sure where everything is going to go. Like this edge may get covered up, so I'm not even going to waste the time inking it. I'm just going to layer stuff on top of stuff. Okay. And I'm looking for interesting pieces, right? So not just plain pages, but also some interesting pieces. So this is also very therapeutic, I think. It's just a little something on a stress-free Saturday to do. And yeah, so you get the idea, right? You get what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go ahead and speed this along for you guys, and then we can work on cutting these out with our punches to make different things. I'll be back in 2 ticks. Alright guys, so here I have in my jar a little bit of Mod Podge and some water. It's mostly water, and I don't know the exact ratio. You can play around with it and see what works for you, but I'm just going to put a thin coat of this mixture on top of my project, and that's just to seal in any of the edges that did not get laid down with the glue, right? So you want to make sure that your entire project is sealed so that none of the edges that can lift up on your final project. So you do this now on the big master board so that when you cut it all up, you're not playing around with like little tiny sections that needs to be glued down. And I'm just going to do this really quickly. This is just a little pointer, a little tip for you guys if you are going to try this project. Just add a little bit of water to some Mod Podge, and Mod Podge is fairly inexpensive. It is probably, I've seen it at the dollar store for $1.25, right? So you can totally get a small bottle of Mod Podge and excuse me, and mix it down with a little bit of water and do exactly what I'm doing right here. It does not cost a lot. I do have a giant bottle of Mod Podge only because I have lots of little projects going probably at the same time. Oh, you know what else, guys? I have a friend, and I wanted to tell you guys about it before I actually do it, just to get your opinion on whether or not you want to see this done on camera. I have a friend who requested that I assist her with making a book for her daughter who is autistic. So her daughter is not fully diagnosed as yet. She's just showing signs of autism. She's only about 6 months old. So her mom wanted a book of interactive things that an autistic child would like. And she wanted it homemade. Like, she's very into like Montessori teachings and you know, things like that. So she wanted it to be a homemade book that her child can enjoy all through her early ages, and hopefully give her some like inspiration for doing other projects for autistic children. So what I'm gonna do, what I've decided to do, was make an interactive little journal. Like, it's a junk journal, basically. It's what we do here on this channel for the most part. And yeah, I was just going to take some stuff in my craft room, and I have tons of beads, lots of pom-poms, all kinds of like things that you can touch and feel, and make this book very interactive for my friend's daughter. And I think she'll enjoy that. I think that she will enjoy it. I just want to know if you guys would enjoy seeing something like that on here, and you just let me know down in the comments if you're interested in that. But yeah, I was going to make the book on camera, but then I realized I should probably give you guys a heads up, right? Like, what are you doing now, Nicole? Like, why are you doing this? So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what I was thinking about doing. I'm gonna do it regardless, but whether or not you guys want to see it is the question. So let me know down in the comments. All right, I'm gonna let this dry, and I'll be back in 2 ticks. I'm just gonna grab my Tim Holtz hair dryer thingy. I'll be right back. So I went ahead and dried the paper with the Mod Podge on it, and then I just sprinkled some white paint on here, just, you know, splashes of white paint, and this is what it came out to be. I mean, from a distance this kind of looks like Christmas paper, so this would make a great Christmas tag. Of course, you can always white gesso the back and you'll be able to write on it. So white gesso will cover all of this up, unless you like the eclectic look, and then you can just write in a Sharpie to and from. But yeah, this is what the other side of our masterboard looks like. I'm going to go ahead and start using my punches to make different styles of tags. So first I'm going to use my circle punch. This is about a 2.5 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to pop a little circle right here, and keeping my fingers away from the edges that I normally pinch myself in. So here is our first circle tag, and then all you really need to do at this point is just you can either use your crocodile or your awl and just pop a little hole in the tag itself. I'm using the 1/8 of an inch hole punch, and yeah, I just put a little hole right there. Now you can then string through either some jute or some twine or whatever, and make this into a cute little something. So here I'm just going to, I hope this works. I just thought about it. My hole may be a little too small for both of these to go through, so I'm just going to give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Just gonna snip an edge off here. Try to make the end of the jute cord less frayed, and not afraid but frayed, and try to get both of these through the same hole, which may be a little bit difficult, right? So the other option would be to put a much larger hole in there. Don't know if I like that idea. I'm gonna try doing it this way. If I put it through like so, yeah, I didn't want to put a huge hole in the tag, but if I put it in like this, then I can pull this up. Right, there we go. And then I can loop through my two ends like that. And now we have ourselves a cute little circle tag, right? Of course, you can always white gesso the back, like I said before, and then put whatever you like on here. The other thing that you can do with this board, besides making circle tags, you can make traditional size tags. So I'm just going to cut a little section, like cut this section off. I'm going to cut this section off, and then, so yeah, you can just chop this up into as many pieces as you like in order to get to where you want to be, right? So yeah, you don't have to save these scraps. And normally what I do, I run this whole thing through my printer to get more use out of this beautiful design right here. So if I run it through in my printer, copy it onto cardstock weight paper or photo weight paper, I'm then able to use this over and over again, this pattern over and over again. So there's one way of making your own paper with, you know, your own pattern styles on it. So I'm going to let's put a little something on the corner. Let's see if this will work, if it's a corner design. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so there's that, and I'll repeat it on the other side because it came out pretty cute. I like it. Just have to get my paper lined up in here on the corner, right about there. Sweet. So now we have this, right? And then again, you take your crocodile and you punch yourself a 1/8 hole in the top, somewhere in the middle, and now you have yourself this pretty little tag. Of course, I will straighten up the end here and maybe even round the corners of it. So I'm going to use my corner rounder and just round the ends with the, oops, with the small measurement of the corner rounder. Okay, so now we have this cute little tag, right? And again, white gesso on the back, and write whatever you like on it. Okay, so Cute, right? So cute. Okay, so the other thing that we can possibly do with this masterboard, besides making tags, we can definitely decorate an envelope. So here I have a very plain cream colored envelope, but wouldn't it be cute to get something like this instead? So here I'm just gonna place my envelope right here at the edge. I'm gonna use a Sharpie, and I'm just gonna put a little line there and a little line there, and then I'm gonna cut off the excess. So, and this doesn't have to be perfect, guys. The whole part of making something that's as eclectic as this designed paper is so that it's different, right? It's not perfect, it's not store-bought, it's all handmade, and there's a lot of pleasure in receiving something that is handmade versus something that's store-bought. So I'm having a little bit of trouble cutting through this piece of fabric-y paper from the other side, so I'm just going to flip it over and cut it through on this side, and then I may need to address some of what has torn. So let me close my Sharpie so it doesn't make a mess everywhere. So right here my page tore, okay, so I'm just going to address that with some Scotch Create glue stick, and just stick this back down right there. No harm, no foul. Okay, so there's that. That's gonna need a minute or two to dry, but then we can always and I'm just using my scissor. If you want perfectly straight lines, please feel free to use a guillotine or a cutting what do you call it, either a guillotine or some sort of a cutting tool. Okay, so from here if this is a hand delivered item, of course you know, you can always cover it up. If it's mailing, you want to mail it, you can always decorate this side of it and write the mailing address and whatnot on this side. So I'm going to decorate the back side of it because I think this looks really cute. And what's going to happen is that this will probably end up as a tuck or something in one of my journals because I think that's adorable. So there's that. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Let's make it official. I'm going to glue this down. Oh, what's this? Who knows? Let's just go with it. There it is. It came off. So yeah, I'm going to glue this onto this side because it will end up being something super cute in my journal. And then I'll cut off the excess from all around the edges, of course leaving that section that we glued to dry. I'm just going to line this up really nice and straight and make sure I get the edges because that's where things start to fall apart, is at your edges. And yeah, I'll just cut away any of the excess along the end here, being very careful not to cut the sealed part of my envelope. So you can also deconstruct this envelope, like fully take it apart and cover the whole thing with your paper and then put it back together. So yeah, you can always just take all of this apart and here, lay it out flat, cover the whole thing with your paper and then glue it back together. So there's a thought for you. But yeah, this will be really cute in my junk journal. It looks junky already, like I can't wait to put it in. All right, so the other thing that you can definitely do with this, again with white gesso on the back side, if you want to use the back side to write on, you can definitely make like a luggage tag. So here I'll just show you what I mean by that. So I'll just cut this section right down here. It seems like a nice rectangular section to cut away. Again, this would be so adorbs as a luggage tag. All I'm going to do at this point is just grab some, and you can frame it up if you like, you know, so that it does not get lost in the baggage system. Trust me, I know how bags get lost. But yeah, I'm just going to use my tag punch. Okay, this makes tags, and I'm just going to cut or punch away the corners like so. Okay, so now we have a traditional tag, tag shape. And again, I will round the corners on here because I like the look of the rounded corners. And it's a little difficult to do, so let me see if I can just straighten that up with my scissor. Okay, yeah, that looks great. And then again, white gesso. Let me grab my white gesso and just show you guys what I mean by that. And because not everyone has white gesso in their stash, I'll just show you what mine looks like, and then we'll do a little white gesso on here and turn this into a cute little luggage tag. 2 ticks. So this is my white gesso. It's by Artist Loft. It's a 16-ounce jar size, and a little goes a long way with this. So I've had this for many, many years, and it's only about, I don't know, a quarter of it used. So again, you just apply a light coat, and it just makes everything all nice and white. And yeah, and that's it, guys. It's pretty much all it is. Now you're able to write onto this side of the paper. And again, if you don't like what's showing through, you can always put a second coat on there, but make sure that this one dries completely before you do. Otherwise you'll end up with clumps, and we don't want clumps. Okay, and this dries fairly quickly. A light coat will dry within a couple of minutes. So yeah, now you can use this as a very adorable luggage tag, right? Very unique, very individualized. And then you can write your name and address or phone number or whatever in case your bags get misplaced in travel, or even if you use it with your hand luggage. Like, I think this would be really cute hanging off the side of maybe my weekender, my tote bag. So yeah. After I've done all of this, right, I want to then like ink my edges and possibly put some more ribbons at the top of these tags. So I'm going to use some of this. This is green peeled paint. It's green distress oxide. It's not the ink, it's a distress oxide. So distress oxides work a little bit differently than ink. Distressing ink is an ink, obviously, and this is the oxide. So yeah, I'm just going to ink around the edges like so, and then I'll go back in on this one with my ground espresso, one of my favorite browns, and just ink the edges like that. So yeah, just like that. Okay, so there's that one. So yeah, this can be a gift tag, or it can be a tag for your journal or whatever. This again can be also a gift tag, or tie it off and make it into an ornament or what have you. You can hang it from your Christmas tree, or make it into a unique little book tag. Okay, and then with some of these, what I want to do is add some more of my ribbons too, because I did have a lot of, what do you call, fabric scraps. So I didn't talk much about my fabric scraps, but just know that I have plenty of it. Okay, I have all of this from a previous project. I have some of this from a previous project. So yeah, your scraps can be plain or patterned or what have you. It doesn't really matter what you do with it. You can always you know, white gesso it also. I think gesso would be great on some fabric. So here, I'll just white gesso my fabric, and let's just play around, right? Let's just see what happens. So I'll just white gesso this fabric right here, a thin coat, because this fabric will soak it all up, and we'll let that dry and see what happens. And then I'll be able to add it to one of my projects. This one right here, again, I want to turn it into a regular little tag for my junk journal. And you don't have to go out and buy this fancy thing. Like, I've had gift cards that I just cut angles on and then placed them on top of this, and then I And then I just cut away the angles. I'm looking for one of those gift cards right now. Can't seem to find any. But again, you don't have to run out and figure out what this is. This is just a punch. It's by Beer Boss. I have a couple of these by Beer Boss. It all came in one package. So yeah, I'm going to punch a hole right here somewhere in the middle. Wasn't even necessary, because what I'm going to do is probably just put this on it, just like so. Okay, yeah, the hole wasn't even necessary. So yeah, I'm just going to use my my Fabri-Tac glue. All I did was I folded this little piece of lace in half on an angle, like so. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here to hold that angle shut. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back side of this tag. I know you can't see that, but trust me, I'm doing it. And now we have that, right? So cute. So cute. Okay, so yeah, you don't need to go out and buy a bunch of punches and whatnot. Just use what you have. And again, an old gift card would work just fine to make these angles on your tags. Okay, or you can just freehand it. It's a handmade product, guys. Like, nowhere else in the world will there be another envelope like this. This is a one and only original. I will never be able to duplicate this again because I've used up this paper, right? And again, if I really wanted to keep this pattern, this really elaborate pattern, I can just definitely run this through my printer or my copier and make my own paper to be repetitively used. But when you're making unique gifts, this is one of which no one else will ever have, ever. One of one, okay? Same with this tag right here. It's a one of one. And this one, once I let the gesso dry, I can write my name and address on here. And I'm telling you, gesso works just like it's a base coat basically, and once it dries you can then write on it with a pen, like a regular ink pen. Even a pencil would work on white gesso. A couple of coats of white gesso on here, you won't even know that there was anything underneath. And then here's the uniqueness of my tag, which I can then turn into a luggage tag. So yeah, that's just some of the things that we can do with our master board and scrap paper, right? So all we've done so far is just glued a bunch of scrap to another piece of scrap and created all these cute little things. Now, of course, I've got to let this dry before I could even attempt to use it. So I may just let that dry and then show you guys in the final photo. So yeah. But yeah, white gesso covers up fabric. If you're not happy with the original color of it, you can just white gesso it and it'll be fine. All right, guys, I think I've done plenty today for this video. I probably will get started on recording another video here pretty soon. But again, don't forget to let me know down in the comments if you guys are interested in seeing me make that really thick interactive book that I'm going to make for my friend's daughter. I did speak with her while I was making all of this stuff. Her daughter's 8 months old, so I will be making a very unique book for her so that she can play with different things inside the book. It's a sensory thing. So let me know if you want to see me make that in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you guys have any ideas of what else you would like me to make on this channel. It's not that I'm running out of ideas. I just want to make sure that you guys are interested in what I'm doing. I have tons of ideas that I can possibly do. But yeah, I just want to know what you guys want to see, okay? Check out my one link down below. I had to turn off my website, so don't go there. But other than that, everything else should still work. All the links in my one link down in the comment section, or in the description box, sorry, is there. And you can just click on that link and it takes you to my Instagram, my Etsy shop, my all my other stuff. So yeah, just go there. All right, guys, I'll definitely talk to you guys in the next video. Don't forget to do something wonderful today and stay naturally curious, okay? Yeah. Bye.